I am fully convinced that Jalen Carter is going to be a superstar. He's an absolute beast. We'll talk about him and more from Eagles-Browns joint practice. What is going on, everybody? Welcome into A to Z Philly. Do me a favor, drop the like if you enjoy this content. Be sure to subscribe, ring the bell down below as we continue to grow this show. Today we're back. We'll talk Eagles-Browns joint practice, some of the main takeaways, some of the things that stemmed over from the first preseason game. Really, if we can take away anything, what is it? But I need to ask the people out there a question right now, honestly, because I'm watching Jalen Carter in this preseason game, in these practices. He is going to be an absolute stud. And my question for the people out there is, do you think he will win Defensive Rookie of the Year? A lot of the sports betting odds right now seem to think he has a very good shot to do it. What do you think? Let me know down below. And speaking of which, shout out to our sponsor of today's video, BetMGM. Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up using code ATOZPA and receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets. If you do not win your first bet when you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and daily boosted odds specials. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matter more than ever. So find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks. Go sign up today with bonus code ATOZPA and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. I'm taking my odds on Jalen Carter winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. Why? Because he's an absolute stud. Today at practice, Jalen Carter once again stood out. He has throughout the entire camp, obviously came with the second unit during the preseason game, but really when we look at that preseason game, we got such a minuscule sample size of Jalen Carter. And what did he do? He already had his welcome to the moment, type of play where he comes in. I think he only played 2 snaps and he gets right to the quarterback immediately. I know he's going up against backups, but man, just his footwork, the way he can kind of drive through and just really, muscle through everybody. It's insane. I mean, he looked like he had been there doing it for 7 years already. That's how good he looks. And man, I really am starting to believe that he was the best talent in the draft. So Jalen Carter, once again, standing out at Eagles camp. And another tweet here where they say that Jalen Carter got a sack today. His buddy Nolan Smith also had one on Deshaun Watson. JC was a beast. And oh, look at that. He actually recovered a fumble as well. This guy's everywhere. He's doing everything. Do you think he could actually end up starting though, right? Jordan Davis seems to be on that front four, but could Jalen Carter end up overtaking his buddy? Is he that good already? I mean, right now you listen to Hassan Reddick today, and he made a very good quote. He says, with our D-line, there's nobody you can consistently double team. And that's why these guys who are already stellar talents are going to be even more prolific, right? You cannot put too much attention. You can't allocate this guy and this guy on one player, and the Eagles just have an overload of talent. So it's really overwhelming for these offensive lines and hard to game plan against. Hassan Reddick says, we take pride in that. We call it 1A and 1B. I like that. 1A and 1B because there's no drop-off. Like I said before, you essentially have 2 different defensive lines starting, rotating, coming in. I mean, it's overwhelming. And the Eagles are probably going to have the best defensive line again in the NFL, at least one of the top 3, in my opinion. And Hassan Reddick actually asked about Jalen Carter. He says, quote, his intensity. He's a dog. Literally, he's a Georgia Bulldog. He's a Philadelphia Eagle Bulldog. And right now, he is an absolute dog because he cannot be stopped. What was my hot take? 6 or 7 sacks? I think he's going to do it. I really do. I don't think anybody can stop this guy. I wouldn't be surprised if he had a multiple sack game within the first couple weeks. Now, Eagles practice today wasn't too hot for the offensive side. Here's Elliott Shore's main takeaways. He says that he is surprised how much the offense struggled. The offense didn't get much of anything going. Had 1 to 2 deep completions, but honestly, I think they were sacks in a game. Hurts did not have time to work from the pocket. On defense, they got to Watson a few times, but lots of open receivers. Best deep pass of the play was by Watson. And surprising how the Browns seemed to be the more energized team last year. It was the Eagles. Browns came into this practice fired up. So according to Elliott Shore Parks, the Browns were kind of overwhelming in this one. And here we have just a couple highlights from today's practice, a couple of the good throws from Jalen Hurts. Here he is going to find DeVonta Smith. Look at that curl route. I mean, he is hard to stop, man. The footwork is insane. Look at this again. DeVonta Smith. Whoop, gotcha. Gotcha, can't stop me. And then you have what was probably the best play of the day here. A.J. Brown going to take one from Jalen Hurts. Look at this. Goes right up. Give me that. He's too strong. He's too strong. They can't stop him. They can't stop A.J. Brown. You have A.J. and DeVonta on the outside. I think any team would dream of having that combo. Now, Elliott Shore Park says that it was a little bit of a rough day for Hurts and the first team offense, especially, like I said, with the offensive line. But Hurts had one interception. It was more of a 50-50 ball as opposed to a bad throw. He had a nice deep completion to DeVonta as well. We saw the couple plays before he had a nice deep throw to DeVonta. And he went 15 for 20 on the day with an interception. Really not too bad of a day for Jalen Hurts as he continues to muscle through. DeVonta Smith beat one of the corners for the Cleveland Browns. By the way, their defensive coordinator is Jim Schwartz, so he was hanging out with the guys. Rodney McLeod, former Super Bowl champ for the Eagles. They were all hanging out. But DeVonta Smith beat Martin Emerson for a deep gain. And I thought this was funny. He had turned to DeVonta Smith and said, "What kind of route was that?" Where Greg Ward hopped in and he said, quote, "The kind of route that'll beat your ass." Greg Ward having some intensity at practice. That's what I like to see. The running back room continues to evolve. One of the main takeaways from the preseason game, really one of the things I was looking at is who would get the running back carries, right? Kenny Gainwell didn't even appear. It looks like the RB1 job is his. Boston Scott also didn't appear in the game. So it looks like he'll be on the roster, but that kind of leaves a bubble, right? Rashad Penny, DeAndre Swift, who is going to get some of these carries? Trey Sermon, right? Even Brooks, who is going to beat out the last couple spots? And, you know, DeAndre Swift had some nice carries the other day, and so did Rashad Penny, but Kenny Gainwell as the RB1 to start the 11-on-11. So it looks like Kenny Gainwell has it locked up, but will some of the other running backs get cut? What do you think? Let me know down below. DeAndre Swift entered 2 plays later today, ran for a 50-yard touchdown. Swift lined up wide. Man, he can do a lot of different things, make this offense very versatile. So glad to see him there. And then Reed Blankenship once again with another stellar day. He's so good at this point. He didn't even have to dress up for the preseason game. They said, "Reed, you already have a spot locked up." We were looking at some of the other safeties. Couple nice plays by Terrell Edmonds. Kayvon Wallace had a nice hit there in the backfield a couple days ago. Still monitoring the safety position. We'll see if Sidney Brown gets some more reps. Who do you think is going to win out that position? Let me know down below. Another main takeaway from the practice was the linebacker position, right? We've heard a lot of ups and downs with Nick Morrow, but he made some nice tackles in the open field in the preseason game. We saw Eli Ricks made a really, really nice couple plays, had a pick 6, undrafted corner this year. So the Eagles secondary is going a lot deeper than we thought it would. And man, these guys have a lot of talent on this roster. Hopefully they'll all be able to utilize it. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, it's a business. So, you know, some of these guys will get cut that are having really good camps, but it's all a battle for those final couple spots. We'll see how it plays out. Give me all your thoughts down below. What's your biggest impression, your biggest takeaway from the preseason game, as well as some of these practices? Give me all your thoughts down below. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And with that being said, I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.